It's Callum from Team J-Block, and I'm here today to show you my top 4, came third, deck profile for Adventure, Phantom Knights, and just a couple of the other level 3s that go with the deck, not plants, that's incorrect. I'm going to show you the deck list, how to really play Phantom Knights. Because Longfire and all them just don't deserve their spot in the deck, to be honest. Right, getting right into it. I play triple Phantom Knight Torn Scales. All the ratios in this are pretty bog standard, to be honest. Torn Scales, he's the best one. Boots, best extender. Cloak comes up sometimes. Greaves, if I could up him, I really would. He's becoming clutch. I saw a lot of people were cutting him for a while. And personally, I don't agree with it at all. I think if anything, you play more of them, because getting that free summon really does help, especially if you're going into a bigger board or if you're going first and you're trying to set up as many negates as possible. It's good to have extra copies of him. And then I play the one Ragged Gloves, because he comes up sometimes. He's not great, but if there's anyone I'm going to cut, it'll be this one. I'll keep him in as much as possible. I play triple Fogblade. See, I don't play the what do you even fucking call them? The wings and the swords and all the other shy trap cards. To be honest, this is all you really need. Because if you're burning through 3 Fogblades, you're probably not going to win anyway. You're probably just not playing it correctly. I play one Brigadine, because he comes up as well. I'll show you exactly some of the things that he used to come up in later on. And I get into I'll do a quick test hand or a quick scenario with you. And like I said in the intro, we don't play the Longfire or the Plant Engine or anything. Because, you know, that's all we need, more hand traps. Anything that gets hit by Ash Blossom. Yeah, I don't want it to hit my deck more, thank you very much. So instead we play Rank Up Magic Force. I'll show you exactly how busted this card is in a while, when I get into the extra deck. But yeah, that's pretty bog standard, pretty normal for the Phantom Knight engine. Yeah, let's get into the adventure or the brave stuff. Play triple Water Enchantress. Oh, this pains me. They had to do an ulti, didn't they? So yeah, 3 Water Enchantress. The one Legal Knight. I see a lot of people don't play this one, and I scratch my head and wonder why. It keeps me up at night as to why you wouldn't play this card. If this drops and you change it to quick, the fact that it's a quick play makes it so that your opponent has to negate it. If they don't negate it, they are done for. That's game over. Wandering Griffin, Dracoback, one Faithful Adventure, triple right. Pretty bog standard as well, besides the Illegal Knight. I choose to play the Illegal Knight. But yeah, that's all for my brave cards. Now I'm on to my hand traps. And I like to strictly play by the rule of a specific number of hand traps. And for this deck I went with 9. You'll see why I specify that in a second. I play triple Gamma, 1 Driver obviously, triple Bell and 2 Crow. You see, I specify 9 because he exists, and unfortunately we have to play him. I suppose it'd be quite fucked without the Driver, but yeah, I just, you know, we've all been there where we open Driver in every hand. Now on to power cards. I play Scythe because funny Scythe, like it's not banned. Genuinely, I think this card is toxic, but I have access to it, and if I have access to it, I'm going to play it. And then I play triple Tactic Talent. A lot of people play this in the side, but I chose to play this main over Droplet, for the reason that I personally just think it's better from me and even my team's point of view. We just think the talents in this format is just much better. Getting that hand knowledge and being able to possibly rip an extender out of Sprite and Tear Element is it's very handy. And not to mention as well with the new decks, Labyrinth and Runic, very field spell reliant. So if you're able to rip the field spell out of their hand, you can just make sure you stop them before they get started. Especially with Runic, they can catch you by surprise when they're milling your deck, and with the amount of surges this deck does, that's something you can't afford at the moment. Then we play our extenders. We play the Burning Abyss cards. We'd cut him if we could, but if you open one, he comes in clutch. Then we play the one Robot, and then we play 3 Kagamusha Knight, 3 mixed rarities, because you know, fuck you, I don't care. But yeah, opening up these is, well, not with these, but opening up these is quite handy. Now I'll get on to my extra deck, and I'll show you exactly why I'm playing the Rank Up Magic Force. So we play the Double Break Sword, that's a standard one. But when he pops himself and he arrives at level 4s, we go into Dark Rebellion. And I specified this when I was talking about my Shea Brigandine. When he comes up onto the field, he's level 4. So it makes it very handy if you're stuck for a card, you can just mill the Greaves off the Rusty Bardish. You can mill Greaves. Someone moves from your hand, make it level 4, and then call out the Brig, and then you can overlay them into Dark Rebellion, and it helps you that way as well. And then once again off the Rusty, you set the rank of Magic Force, and then you rank up into Requiem, because I don't think a lot of people know what this card does. Because every time I bring it up in a locals or a tournament of some sort, everyone reads it. Everyone reads it because they don't understand what it does. But the fact that you can just attach a card, gain the attack point to make something 0, really helps the OTK enabling. Especially if you have this and access code out at the same time. Access code, you can take the life with this, and then get rid of all the cards, access code, and then just swing for as much damage as you can get. That accompanied with the fact that it's not once per turn 3 negate pop, which granted it's monster negate pop, but spell and trap cards won't make too much of a difference really. Only if you're coming up against Eldritch, and that's kind of fallen off in popularity. So I just chose that. I just feel like this is better than running the plant engine. Levier is pretty standard. The extension does come up sometimes. Then you go with the Downard, and we went with Zeus, because Zeus is once again just another cracked card. Then we have access code, 1 Unicorn, 1 Rusty, Cherubini, IP. This used to be a dark, the Funny Charmer guy, but I only really used him to take my opponent's DPE. Other than that, he doesn't really come up, and I feel like the Masquerena making the unbeatable access code is just infinitely better at the moment. So I decided to go with Masquerena now. Artifact Dagda to get out the sight lock. Pretty standard. Nightmare Phoenix to clear off any spell and trap removal, or once again like it comes up again with the Runic and Labyrinth and Terra Element field spells, just clear them off, and then they lose more advantage than it looks like at face value. And then the 1 Link Spider, because that comes up quite a bit, especially if you get hand trapped and you're running extenders. You can just link off the adventure token, and then you can move your way up into access code there. So that's it for the extra deck, and now I'm just going to show you my side deck. This came up so much. This Artifact Lancia came up so much. Seeing this against Thunder Freeze, Fluonder or whatever they're called now, ruins their day. So if they're not building houses with their bricks, they're getting nailed by Lancia, and you send them home crying. It's quite funny. Played 3 Ash. The reason I side Ash is because I feel like in this day and age, this day and age. This format particularly, it doesn't come up nearly as much. Simply because the likes of Terra Element and Runic and stuff, they kind of like recycle from the graveyard. Same with Sprite, they do it as well. They kind of cycle from the graveyard and kind of find their way that way. So it's not really helping our case a lot by playing Ash Blossom. So deciding to side it just makes it infinitely better. It doesn't really come too much, so I decided to put it on the side instead. Now for my spell and trap removal. This came in clutch against, which deck was it? Funny, I think it was Karibo's. I came up against Karibo's and it was very handy against them. Duster, Double Cyclone, Reboot. Yeah, this comes up a lot, especially against the likes of Lich as well. And then once again, I know I keep bringing it up, but the newer cards, the newer decks, like getting rid of those field spells it turns off their deck. So I just think you can't really ignore that, especially if you're looking at a deck that'll mill your whole deck. Especially in a deck like this that serves us so much. I just think you can't overestimate it. Next, I have 3 Droplet. Like I said earlier, I transferred Droplet to the side deck in space for a Talent, because I just feel Talent is better than Droplet. I was tempted on taking this out and putting a Dark Ruler, but I just think the OTK enabler through it, rather than having to skip your battle phase for Dark Ruler. I feel like that's just infinitely better. And then I play 3-dimensional barrier because Terra Element can't play, Sprite have a harder time playing, Despia can't play because that deck still exists. So yeah, it just kind of hits a lot of the top decks right now. So yeah, that's pretty much all it is. That's the deck for you. Third place, my first deck that I came up against was, I came up against Karibo round 1, beat them. Then I went on to Thunder Freeze, beat them. And then I went on to play Heroes Valdex, which is the one that actually beat me in the end. I went to X1. I actually ended up losing to Heroes. I really underestimated them. And then I went on to play a mirror match and I won that as well. So yeah, I'll show you the quick standard combo. And anyway, I'll do a quick pause over here. Yeah, I'll show you the standard combo. Fairly straightforward. Alright, it's not too bad. Actually, here it's actually quite handy. You special summon, so here for example, you'll special summon the Graph, special Livic, and then you just link these two away into your Cherubini, like normal, and then you'll activate the effect of your Graph, which will allow you to summon out the Seer from the deck, which is quite handy. It actually kind of helps us skip through a lot of the shite. Cherubini's effect, you'll send Enchantress, and you'll banish Enchantress. She'll grab you right, summon the right. No, activate token, summon. Activate right, summon token, and then let you place. A lot of people don't understand what that means. It lets you place Fatal Adventure from the deck. So plays through anti-spell. The non-activating part just makes the card, it just makes the engine itself just so much better. So you'll summon out you'll call out the Fatal Adventure. And then from here you would proceed, from here you proceed to link these two into Rusty. Is he on link? No. Yeah. Effect of Seer will summon out Cherubini, and then you'll chain Faithful Adventure to search for the Dracoback. And then you can use Faithful Adventure to search for the Wandering Griffin. This is just the basic Brave combo. Summon this out pretty much immediately. Oh yeah, you discard this and it comes back and equips as a token. Another fucked effect. Effect of the Rusty. Sending your cloak. You then banish the cloak. Oh yeah, afterwards you'll set, this way you set rank of Magic Force. And you'll banish cloak. Search for boots. Ooh, don't do that. Ooh. Bendy cards. Just normal summon, special summon. You'll overlay into your break sword. Rusty will pop the break sword will reply to 2 of them as level 4. You'll overlay them again, and you will summon out Dark Rebellion. And then you still have talents and Ghost Spell in hand in case you need them. Now here you do unfortunately still have the Cherubini, on board, but look, it's not too much of an issue. You've got enough playthroughs now. Your opponent will pass, draw, standby, main, they'll normal summon or some shite. You activate rank up Magic Force, banishing. Doesn't make a difference, just banish Seer or something. To overlay into Requiem. And on the summon of Requiem, Rusty will get himself a pop. And then if they have any on summon effects, you can use the effect of Wandering Griffin Rider to negate it. And then you're sitting here. If you don't choose to negate it, you got 1 Omni negate, you got 3 monster negate pops, and you still have Bell and Talents in hand. That's the box standard combo. And it's pretty much like this the whole way through. If you hadn't have kind of bricked on the extra Burning Abyss card, you could have gone into the side block as well. But yeah, that's the box standard combo. Thanks for watching, guys. If you do, I appreciate the time to give this video a like. Subscribe. We're trying to get to our goal is to get to 100 subs for our regional in October, so we can have something to flex, if you will. But yeah, good video, like, share it to friends, and subscribe. And I'm from Team Chainblock. Thanks for watching.